Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a lemon and honey tart. So as I show you how, please sit back, relax with a cup of tea in hand, putting those feet of yours up to, and enjoy this episode. And don't forget to subscribe. British cuisine, as I'm sure you're all aware, is full of delicious and unmistakable sweet and savoury tarts, many of which featured on the channel with our Brilliantly British touch. And in this episode, we'll be introducing another in the form of this honey lemon tart, which, as the name suggests, calls upon the classic flavour combination of honey and lemon united with a delicate sponge filling encased in sweet short crust pastry. In this episode, you'll be shown how to prepare it simply before we round things off with our session of tasting at the end. And so now, with the introductions made, please allow me to show you how to turn these into this. To begin preparing a lemon honey tart in a food processor or by hand, first combine flour, sugar and salt for a few seconds. Thereafter, blitzing the contents with diced butter and an egg yolk before trickling in just enough water to form a cohesive dough, turning the mixture out once relatively mixed and proceeding by kneading the contents for up to a minute in order to mix thoroughly. Following on upon a well-floured surface, take your time rolling out the dough until large enough to blanket your tart pan, at which point a layover and tuck into your pan, trimming away all excesses thereafter before setting in your fridge for at least 30 minutes or better still an hour to set, relax and chill, leaving you with time to relax and rehydrate with Brilliantly British content in hand, making sure to help us out by liking and subscribing. Thank you. With your oven preheated and with the pan now recalled after resting, dock the base and sides of your dough against the formation of trapped steam while baking, before bedecking with baking paper weighed down with rice or better still ceramic beans, and then relocating to your oven to bake blind. Following a stint of blind baking, you'll then want to uncover the pan and then return it to the oven for a second stint, with the result being a light brown and aromatic pastry, which should be momentarily set aside as the filling is prepared. For the filling, blend your brown sugar with fresh lemon zest at first, being patient so as to allow the zest to become finely minced and mixed together with your sugar. Then, after having turned out and set aside your homemade lemon sugar, take a moment to combine baking powder with your flour, thereafter setting it also aside. Following on, in a mixing bowl, proceed by turning in soft room temperature butter, with which oil should be combined until homogeneous, pale and fluffy. To the oil and butter mixture, vanilla and your lemon sugar should then be beaten in, continuing after having scraped down the sides of your bowl by emulsifying one egg at a time, yielding a pale, voluptuous mixture. Then, with all machinery set aside, first sieve in your flour baking powder mixture and then by hand fold in with lemon juice, mixing just enough to combine against the undesired development of gluten in the batter. Having now recalled my tart base, into it will first go warmed honey, spread evenly over the base before turning in and leveling the batter, which should be gently knocked in order to dislodge any pockets of air, and then, after having taken a moment to admire it, slide it into your ovens to bake to perfection, leaving you with a sufficient amount of time for tea and a Brilliantly British episode or two, not forgetting, of course, to like and subscribe. Thank you. Once ready, the tart should be left to cool nearby as you very quickly prepare a lemon drizzle, which, as the name suggests, should be used to drizzle, coat and or glaze the tart, while still hot or warm before being left to cool completely. And so now, with a fresh lemon honey tart made and your interest peaking, I think it's high time for tasting, tasting, tasting. Are you ready? Are you steady? 3, 2, 1. As many of you will probably be aware, the flavors here are very familiar, classic even. Lemon and honey goes wonderfully well together, and here that is evidently the case. The sponge filling of this tart is melt in the mouth tender, and there's that lovely surprise at the bottom in the form of the fresh honey. It's amazing. And then you have the texture of the crust. The flavors here are wonderfully simple, wonderfully classic, and with a cup of tea will be further enhanced. We've made this tart as simple and as easy as possible to prepare. So with all of that being said, my dear friends, please go out, get the few simple, easily accessible ingredients to make yourselves a brilliantly British lemon honey tart, because as I'm sure you're all aware, and as you've just seen, it will be 100% worth it. So please, please, please make this lemon honey tart, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make a lemon honey tart. Knowing that you loved this episode, don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone, and I mean everyone, that you know about the brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time.